What is one area that you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? We're going to pick 3 piles. We got defense. We got convention. And we got companionship. What is one area that you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? We got pile number 1. Pile number 1 with defense. We have pile number 2 with convention. And we have pile number 3, last but not least, companionship. So what are 3 areas that you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? Welcome to the card picking process. So we got 3 piles. We have 3 piles here, and we're asking, what is one area you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? Got pile number 1. We got pile number 2. Pile number 3. What is one area you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? What is one area that you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? One area that you can improve to kickstart the awakening process. Pile number 1. Pile number 2. Pile number 3. Pile number 1. Pile number 2. Pile number 3. Pile number 1. Pile number 2. Pile number 3. Pile number 1. Whichever pile you be drawn to. Sometimes you can be drawn to several piles. Sometimes just be drawn to one. Whichever pile you are drawn to is okay. You can one or more. If they speak to you, there's not a right answer. There's not a wrong answer. It can be. And we got pile number 3, companionship. Pile number 1, defense. We're asking, what is one area you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? So where can you be more aware in your life? And we got these card picking process. So we have pile number 1. We have pile number 1 with defense. And then we have pile number 2 here with convention. And we got pile number 3 here. With companionship. Just like that. And I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Pile number 1. Pile number 1. What is one area that you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? So, the awakening process, most people are completely identified with their ego. It's unconscious. We don't think about it. We just automatically think that we are our ego. The ego is like your race, what color you are, female, what kind of gender, where you're from, all those things, the labels that we have, that we think make us into who we are. And the awakening process is a little glimpse into something greater, something greater. And you was drawn to the card of defense. And the card of defense, Mars in Taurus. This is a card of success. So whatever you are doing, whatever you have been doing in your life, you're already successful at it. Maybe you have built that business. You have that going on. And then you have all this wealth that you have accumulated. Now you're going to defend it. You have to stand up for it. You have to set boundaries. You have to defend it and be on the lookout for people who wants to come in and take it. Or be on the lookout for people who wants to come in and take advantage. And be on the lookout for these things and be in defensive. While you are all the way, while working on bettering or changing up or, you know, developing what you're already doing. And so this reading here today, how can you enhance all that you already have and add some spices to it that just will enhance your life a little bit? So being in the defense or being in the work mode, like you're going to be in your thoughts a lot. Like you'll be thinking, you have to think about these things. You have to figure it out and you have to plan these things. You have to know what you're doing with these things. And when you build it up, you have to have long-term plans and short-term plans. And you have to have all that going on. And you have to get up in the morning. You have to do your things. You have to go and get it done. And then for the most part, your mind is going to be in the future because you're already trying to achieve something. You're working towards achieving something. So your mind is going to be in the future. When your mind is in the future, if you just stop and pause for a little bit, and then you just notice how you're feeling inside. Take a deep breath, and then just notice how are you feeling inside. And for most of us, it's going to be feeling a little bit uneasy. There's going to be like a little feeling of unease or anxiety or maybe a little bit of fear. And that makes all the sense. And the reason for why it makes all the sense is because you are here in this moment. Wherever your feet or your butt is planted at this moment is where you're at right now. But your thoughts, they are in the future because they already are trying to accomplish something that you had planned out, and it's a good plan. And you have all this enthusiasm and you have all this passion going for it. So your mind is already up there in the future and trying to do that. But you're here in the now. And in the middle there, like from you until the future, there's a lot of stuff that can go on. And so all those unknowns are going to create a gap. And that's called like an anxiety gap. Because it's uncertain. And what we humans hate more than anything is uncertainty and not knowing and being... we like certainty. We like to know what we're doing and where we're going. So creating that gap is creating anxiety gap for yourself. So when you reel yourself back in to the moment, you're going to feel a little bit of unease. And that's okay. That's okay because it's easily manageable and it's easily changeable. So what you can do, what this reading is calling for, is saying, okay, I wasn't thinking. For the most part, you did something stupid and it's like, oh, okay, well, I wasn't thinking. But in my interpretation right here, it's perfect because congratulations. If you're not thinking for a little bit, stop thinking. Congratulations. You just stopped thinking for a little bit. That is marvelous. Good job. That's probably the best thing you do all day for yourself, because now you can sense, you can put your attention in different parts of yourself, and you can draw your attention back in instead of letting all of your energy and your attention be up there in the future. Then now you can bring it back in here because you already have your plans. You already have your things that you know what to do in the future. So what you need to do is just notice. So time for romance has come. And this doesn't mean that you have to go out there and grab a guy or a gal or whatever and create a relationship. Romance can be also how you experience your life. And so feeling like, you know, when you're in love and you feel everything, oh, it's so marvelous and everything feels so good and everything looks brighter and everything just feels lighter and la la la, you're on this energy wave. And then you're kind of, everything looks more romantic around you. And so if you bring that romance and that appreciation of the water, the grass, the sky, the birds, the trees, everything that you can see around you, the smell of spring, when it's been like dense and dark for a long time, and then all of a sudden the sun comes back out and people starts mowing their lawns and it starts smelling like spring out there, and it's just a good feeling. And then you're in the moment and you're experiencing life in the moment, right where you're at. And then you just do the next steps that you have to do, but you keep yourself in the moment. And that's an awakening. Now you're present. Now you are who you are, like who you're meant to be, like that presence in the present. Not a thought form in the future. You're not like way up there in the future trying to create something that is already out there. So also defense, boundaries. Sometimes we can defend ourselves because we have been in circumstances that was unhealthy for us. And so learning how to set boundaries, learning that you are equally important opinions as everybody else. You have equal right to speak your mind as everybody else. You have equal right to walk on this planet as everybody else. You have equal right to look for love as everyone else. You have equal right to go out and be successful as everyone else. You have the equal right. We are all just people here on planet Earth trying our best. Some of us at least trying our best. The other ones, they're struggling, so don't worry about them. Just do your best. And my faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Love has in it the power to conquer fear. And so if you focus, and the way to find that faith or the presence is to be in the now. So going away from your rational thinking mind to call in the presence. You're still going to be doing everything that you already do in your life. So there's no need to worry about losing anything while you're awakening. It's like, no, I don't want to be like a freak walking around there all weird and stuff. Well, you know, you don't have to do that. You can do everything that you already are doing, but you're going to experiencing. It's going to add depth to it. It's going to add meaning to it. Now you're going to do it with even more purpose than you have ever done it before. And you're going to do it because you love it. You like it. And so it brings out a whole new energy into everything that you do. And so I wasn't thinking, yes, congratulations, we are clapping for that. That's great. If you can do that once a day, not think for a little bit, that's awesome. This is the purpose of meditation. This is the intention of meditation, is to stop, think for a little bit. King of Pentacles, yes, you already have probably built, like maybe you have already a house, and maybe you have already a car, and you have already all the stuff that you need, and you have nice clothes, and you have the latest phone, and you have maybe you have even a little boat, or maybe a motorcycle, or perhaps you like rather to drive around in an RV, or whatever suits your fancy. Maybe you're going on a cruise every so often. Whatever it is that you like to do, you have the means and you have built up to do that. And so how do you want to experience these things? This is where the awakening comes in, because you can go on autopilot like you have been all of your life and continue to do that. That's fine. You have free will. You can do that. But if you want the most out of this experience on planet Earth, you want to awaken. You want to notice the little things. And you want to, when you're fishing out there, trying to grab something in the future with all the to-do lists and the strategies and the plans and everything. And now you can reel it back in. So you can reel it back in. You're reeling your energy back into yourself. Now you are present. Now you're fully present. And maybe you can just allow yourself to experience the sunshine in a new way. Maybe you can fall in love with the sky or the trees and bring that sense of romance and your senses into your day-to-day life. When you go on that motorcycle, you're going to feel so much better. When you go in your RV, you're going to enjoy it so much more. When you wake up and go to work in the morning, you're going to do it because you want to and you like it. And it's going to bring a whole new level of aliveness, love, dedication, everything to your life. Is it worth it? Oh, heck yeah. In my opinion, it's the only thing that is worth it. And so the Empress, all the other things we have already experienced, like you already know what it's like to be a robot and do all these things. And you already know what it's like to be completely identified with your ego and get confused every time you don't know what one of those roles are supposed to do. Maybe that role of being this green color skin is supposed to do A, B, and C, and then you don't know the rest of the D, E, and F. So now you're confused because you don't know what they're supposed to be. Well, when you're awakening, when you're present, you don't even have to think about these things, because everything that you do, it comes natural to you. It comes natural and it's authentic. And you know what to do. When you quiet your mind, the answers that you seek will come to you and you will just speak it. You don't have to use all that energy trying to figure it out or think about it and do all that stuff. And so King of Pentacles to the Empress, birthing something into this world, birthing ideas, birthing babies, birthing creative stuff, birthing beauty, enhancing, so embodying all the energies of the queens. Very mature, very grounded, very loving and caring character. King of Pentacles, yes, very dedicated, working, getting the money, getting the stuff, which is good, all overwhelmed by all the glory and the wealth. Defending it. Empress, love, caring, joy, being in the moment, allowing the internal part of this role to flourish and nourish. And I wasn't thinking, congratulations, the sun shows up right away when you aren't thinking too much. So when you aren't thinking, the sun card is the happiest card in the deck, and it's here for you twice. Pile number 1. That is very good. It's here for you twice. So obviously very successful person, obviously got things going for you, obviously can add just this little tiny bit of appreciation of everything that you see, that you smell, that you touch, and that you hear. And you're going to open up a whole new world of sunshine. And the King of Cups coming in here with compassion, love, caring, sharing, and authority, and also doing, also successful, also a leader. So bringing that in with the King of Pentacles, getting all the stuff, allowing for the Empress to come in. Wasn't thinking for a while. Good, great. Now you're going to feel that internal joy and the internal sunshine. And the King of Cups will come out of there. Then the compassion comes out, the caring, being a role model in a good way, being emotionally secure, emotionally stable. Boundaries, very important. Whatever you do in your life, boundaries. Maybe if you have this firm and good boundaries, you won't have to defend everything. And with the boundaries also, this card, the 6 of Wands, is showing up here for you, pile number 1. So this might mean that you are going to get recognition from your community or from wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, that you're already successful with, whatever that is, you're going to get victory. And people back here, yeah, they're like, hey, pile number 1 did that. Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Pile number 1 is great. And then everybody's going to love you and talk about it and celebrate you. And when that happens, Someone said, yeah, you want that breakthrough. But once you do, realize that now everybody wants something from you. So there is that. And then with the 6 of Wands, yes, you have the victory. So you have the victory, you set your boundaries, you're going to do great. You have your victory, you set your boundaries, you're going to do good. You have your victory, you don't set your boundaries, you're going to be feeling depressed and lack and feel that someone just took everything from you. You're going to allow people to come in and take your joy, take your everything that you have worked for internally, which we don't want that. Definitely don't want that. You want boundaries. So wherever you go, whatever your state is, you stand your ground where and when you need to. You stand your ground. You trust and expect the positive outcome and have the strength and kindness needed to enable me to stand my ground. I stand my ground. Personal power. Standing your ground. Personal power already have accomplished so much. Walking with faith. Having faith that there is something greater, that there is something better, there is something bigger. And opening up for the romance with the world around you. To have a romantic look on everything, the plants, the trees. And also it may have been way too long since you have allowed yourself to have any romance in your life. The rational mind fighting over it. In order for you to keep following the path of your soul, you must allow romance a firm place in your life. Pause for a moment and see the world through the eyes of a lover. And your innermost magic will unfold. So pause for a moment. Don't think for a moment. Just pause for a moment. Have your boundaries. And pause for a moment. And reel your energy back into yourself. Into the moment. So that you have all of you in this moment. And when you have all of you in this moment, there is a different internal strength that comes out. There is a magic. It's like a magic that will unfold. And these cards here is also calling for pile number 1 to trust your intuition. The High Priestess. High Priestess. She is able to read between the lines. The rational mind usually just go rationally, take things at face value, boom, boom, boom. Rational planning. Rational mind with the romantic, opening up for the romantic view, for that different way of viewing life and everything. Then you are going to activate also your internal GPS, like your internal guidance system and your internal eyes. So now you'll be able to see what's not being said and done, and you're going to be able to hear what they didn't say, but you're going to be able to see it because now you're noticing the facial expressions, you're noticing the tone of voice, you're noticing the body language, you're noticing all of these things. So now you're going to be able to, without having to think, no thinking, just being, and having that new romantic outlook on life, noticing everything, being aware of everything that's going on, the senses, using your senses, going to activate your internal guidance system, your intuition, and you are going to trust that and the sun. So this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading, pile number 1. And the only thing you have to do in order to kickstart your awakening process, and I promise you, you're not going to lose anything, but you're going to gain everything. And the one thing that you can do right now is to just smell the room that you're sitting in. Feel the air on your skin in the room that you're sitting in. What does your clothes feel like on your body? And then bring your attention into this moment. And see the world through the eyes of a lover, and your magic, your internal magic, will unfold. Pile number 1, that was your reading. The beautiful light in me. It honors, respects, and loves the same beautiful light in you. Until next time, namaste. Pile number 2. What is one area you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? Pile number 2, you get drawn to the card of convention. With the convention card, it is interesting dynamics. It can be that pile number 2, just as a young child, pile number 2 was taught that duty, doing your deeds, working and duty is love. It's equal to love. So pile number 2, growing up, thought that the more work you can do, the more you can accomplish, the more things you can do and do, the more it will enable you to feel and to be loved. And so the convention card is, could be a picture here of family restrictions, this little frame with a child, the house, underneath what's going on behind the closed doors. Can be a lot of restrictions there, can be a lot of weird teachings, which we all know that in the developmental states of our childhood, we learn certain things that we take with us throughout our life. And also with this convention card is perhaps relationship with someone much older or younger, or it can be a relationship with a famous person or someone of importance. It can also mean that a new friend of influence is about to enter into your life. However, there is a gap between pile number 2 and these other people. They seem to always be older, younger, more powerful, more knowledgeable, more this, more that. So pile number 2 is trying the best to do their duty, and they're walking the path, and they're doing the job, and they're doing this, and they're doing that, and they're doing this, and they're doing that. And pile number 2 is working and exhausted and working and wore out, and then resting a little bit, working, exhausted. And so why is pile number 2 doing this? Well, first of all, if they taught you that this is what life looks like when you was a child, then this is what you know life is supposed to look like. So you're going to keep doing it because now it's been programmed into your mind, and you are going to keep doing it because you don't think about it. And when you think about it, so let's think about thinking for a little bit. Identification with your mind. Now pile number 2 believes that you are your mind. You don't even know that you're identified with your mind, your thinking, but this is who you truly think that you are. You are your mind. And so we have your deepest desires constrain you. Let them go to clear your mind. Desire for things. Pile number 2 learned that all these powerful people, or all these different people that are in some way, shape or form more important or more just more of a person than pile number 2 is, which is not true, of course, but we don't know this. Especially when we're fully identified with our mind, we believe everything that we think, and we have become our thoughts. Like, that's who we think we are. And that, pile number 2, is being a slave to your thinking. So maybe you were slaving around back in the day when you had to do what you had to do. But now, today, you're slaving around still because of the thinking. The thinking. Always thinking. Just stop thinking. Also, we learn, if you're going to be normal or accepted or have some kind of status in this society, well, then you're going to need certain type of shoes. You're going to need certain type of pants. You're going to need certain type of whatever, dresses, clothes, whatever it is that you like to wear. You're going to need certain brands because they are the popular ones. And if you don't have those brands, you are not one of us. So pile number 2 is a little bit confused because pile number 2 is like, well, I'm here. I am. And then you won't play with me because I don't have those shoes. And then pile number 2 is confused. And then pile number 2 is trying to get those shoes. And then pile number 2 is understanding that, oh, the shoe people, they also need you to have a certain car when you get to that age. You have to have a certain car. And then you have to have a certain kind of wife or husband. And you have to have a certain amount of kids. And then you have to be a certain type of a grandparent. And then you have to have a certain place to live in. And you have to live in a certain type of place to be accepted, to be seen as an important person. Whereas these things, they keep creeping up in your mind. So back to the thinking again. Now you're identified with the lack of those things. And now you're feeling not worthy because you don't have those things. So pile number 2 is walking around here, trying to get the shoes, trying to get the car, trying to get the house, trying to be good enough for someone else to love them, trying to do all these things. While also this narrative, this mind is just over and over again, repeating the same things, and even judging. It's commenting on everything. Wow, pile number 2, you don't have those shoes yet? I mean, you're really a disaster. You can't do anything. You're so stupid. Pile number 2, you don't have that car? What, you driving around in this raggedy old car here? Oh my gosh, you're just a horrible person. I can't believe this. This is so, you are like a failure. Oh my gosh, you failed in life. You don't have the shoes and the car? You're such a failure. Oh my gosh, pile number 2, I can't believe this. And this voice in our head is commenting all the time, and is commenting. And then we believe it. We think we are these thoughts. And it speculates, what if I did this? What if I could do that? What if I did this? What if they did that? What if something happened to them? Then it would be better for me. And it judges. This is better than that. This is not so good as this. And it compares and complains. So the voice in our head that is constantly reminding us of the desires that we think we need to have them in order to be good enough for the rest of the people. Just because the rest of the people have been conditioned in the same way, it doesn't mean that pile number 2 have to follow and do all the same things. So pile number 2 is wondering, like, what is this one thing then that I can do to change my life for the better and kickstart and start to awaken from the dream of thinking? Because the thoughts, they're just thoughts. They're not things. We think they are real, but they are not. They are just made up in our heads. So you're just a person walking around there with a big ass head of thoughts, thinking that you are these thoughts. So pile number 2 is like, okay, what can I do? And then in this particular reading, we have convention, we have unity, we got strength card, we got 3 of Pentacles, we got the Hierophant. So higher learning, convention, perhaps higher learning in a little bit of a different way, because this one here is chipping away on his craft, chipping away on his craft, doing, and then you're supposed to be loved. You know how pile number 2 was created when he was younger? Then everything you doing is what makes you lovable. So pile number 2 here is doing their best, and they are chipping away at the wall, and they're in the church, they're chipping away, and they're making it look beautiful. And pile number 2 was like, okay. And then these people around there, they are trying to upheave it. They're trying to disrupt it, or to come in to the focus and to tilt the focus, because higher learning in a way that is not conventional is not really accepted for pile number 2. And pile number 2 already struggles with their own thoughts, because their own thoughts is going to say what the convention already told them from before. So now pile number 2 is looking for something different and chipping away on their craft, doing their thing. And then also realizing that maybe I don't need that car. Maybe I don't need those shoes. Like, what does my feet need? What is good for my feet to walk in? What feels comfortable for me to walk in? And how can I best utilize the shoes and the foundation so that I can stand up straight, so that my body is better aligned, so that I'm more grounded to the earth, and I'm more present in the moment. And how can I do that? What kind of car do I need? Do I need one that is good on gas, that I can make the monthly payments on and do those things? Or do I need one that is going to impress these people over here that is not really out there to support you anyway, because now you're messing with their identity. You're messing with their thinking. And lo and behold, they're going to want to keep their thinking. So pile number 2, now you're poking into someone else's identity. But you're like, I'm not going to go to the convention. I'm not going to get drawn into all the material stuff. I want to chip away. I want to make things of quality. And I do want to follow a higher learning, because all this material stuff, it doesn't really work for me. And I'm feeling unfulfilled. I'm feeling discontent. I'm feeling upset. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling worried. I'm feeling all these things, anxious, always this little feeling of unease and fear going on. And I don't know why this is. And pile number 2 is like, I'm sick and tired of that. So here I am. When I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. That's interesting, said pile number 2. That's actually very interesting. Let me think about that for a minute. And then pile number 2 went right back into the conventional way. Let me think about that for a little bit. Also, the mental picture of God, it's a construct of someone or something outside of yourself, like the things that you have to do, or helping someone else outside of yourself, or doing everything outside of yourself. Pile number 2, though, is like, well, I think it's more closer than that. I think actually I'm going to stop thinking for a little bit. And then just feel my breath fill up my belly, fill up my lungs. I'm going to feel my breath just opening up from the inside, filling myself up with the oxygen that I need, and being present in the moment. Pile number 2 also loves unity. Pile number 2 would wish that people weren't so sneaky, that people weren't so always wanting to discuss things, or people always wanting to be disagreeing, or to have an argument, or, to have an opinion about everything. And it's going to disrupt everything. And so because they're protecting their own ego, and then they're sneaking away, they're trying to sneak away, they're trying to put things into yourself to instill fear in you. Maybe they want to instill some insecurities in you. So they say something that they know is one of your triggers. And then now they're instilling these emotions in you because, well, they want people to feel like them and be like them. And they don't like it when pile number 2 here is going away from the convention, dropping all those layers of thoughts, all those ideas, all those things that have been created from before. Pile number 2 is rather like, you know what? I'm going to see, how can I reach out? How can I be of service? How can I be of best service? How can I utilize what I've learned? And pile number 2 is reaching out. How can I help you understand this better too, so that we all can live in unity? And sometimes going into these things is going to stir up a lot of emotional drama, emotional trauma, sadness, disappointments, all these things that life carries with it. And sometimes those feelings get stuck within you. So until you can release it, you won't be free of it. You'll carry it. And so alignment with the love of the universe, beyond the thoughts, beyond the desires of the new shoes or the car or the clothes and the brands and the hair and the makeup and the phones and the tablets and the computers and all the digits and gadgets and all that stuff that we supposedly have to have it. Well, we don't really have to have it, but someone makes a heck of a lot of money if we do think that we need it. And so there you go. And so 4 of Pentacles, holding on too tightly, being rigid. And the Hierophant, traditionally rigid. Hierophant, rigid. Like rigid, this is the only way that you can view God. If you're going to be in our church, you have to view God in this way. And God is a pie in the sky, and he's a punishing thing, and he watches everything that you do. So mind your step, which can be very useful in beginning of an awakening process, because now you're mind is going to be leaning against what are the right things to do, what are the moral things to do, what are the ethical things to do. And then you can learn these things, and then eventually though, you'll have to go deeper. You'll have to let all those ideologies go and find that inner strength. Being able to chip away at your craft. Do your best. Always do your best. Whatever you do, just do your best. And then you're going to chip away. You're going to do it honestly, and you're going to do it truthfully. You're going to stand in your own truth. And this will be the true awakening. The true awakening is that God always was and always will be. And when God says, I am that I am, that is also who you are. Beyond the needs for things, beyond the thoughts going on all the time, beyond the rigid and the structure and the always doing, having to do to be showing love. Love is within you. And constantly in our minds, pile number 2, we have a constant stream of dialogues going on in our heads, monologues going on in our heads, always constantly talking. So even if you're in a room by yourself, you have all these things going on in your mind. And we don't even realize that we can stop it. We can stop it. And that's when you stop it, that is when you find the beautiful things in life. There is an intelligence far greater than your thinking, far greater than the conventions, far greater than the authorities. You are your own authority. Alignment, unity, searching unity within. We are all little seeds from this whole, the whole thing, whatever you want to call it. That's where beauty lies. That's where love is. That's where creation, joy, inner peace. All of these things that we really wish for. This is what you want when you get those new shoes. You want to feel beautiful. This is what you want to do when you get your new car. You want to feel that joy of getting the new. And then you realize once you get it, it's like 3 seconds of yay, woohoo, and you celebrate for a little bit. And then you have to make the payments. You got to pay the gas. You got to go to tune it up every year. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to change the tires, new batteries, all the stuff that comes along with a car. It's not that fun anymore. But if you rather would put the joy into being, pile number 2, your whole life will transform. And there is a higher learning that is a good one. There is a higher learning that is generous, that is an awakening to your own power, awakening to your own self-evaluation. You are now, this reading is telling you that you are now at the crux of for reaching a new life. And then you might have to purge the things that would hinder you from being renewed. And sometimes you have to release old heartache. You have to release all sneaky behaviors. You have to release all competition and comparing and judgment. You're going to release all the rigidity. You're going to release all the ideology and the dogma. And going within, in alignment with the love. Beyond all of that, you're going to find the quality of life, the higher learning, quality, setting the intention, finding the true beauty. You're going to feel the true beauty whether you have the shoes or barefoot. You're going to feel the true joy whether you have a new car or you're just walking because you can. You have feet. And gratitude. And then you're going to feel that inner peace whatever you do. So if you do find, then after you find that inner peace and your inner stillness, now you can do all the other things that you used to do if you still want to. And they're going to feel different for you because you realized that the material realm is not who you are. Pile number 3. Pile number 2. Pile number 3 coming up afterwards. Pile number 2, that was your reading. That was your reading. The beautiful light in me, it honors, respects, and it loves the same beautiful light in you. Until next time, namaste. Pile number 3. What is one area that you can improve to kickstart the awakening process? Pile number 3. Pile number 3 reached a point in their life when they decided to not be alone. They did not want to be alone. They wanted to be in a situation where they felt emotionally and domestically secure. Pile number 3 is often guided by how other people feel and act. Pile number 3, how other people feel and act often dictates what you do with your life. And so pile number 3 often is walking around there and noticing how the partner feels, and then they act accordingly to their feelings. And pile number 3 is walking around there noticing what the partner or their friend, what they need, and so they go about and do that. And then pile number 3 is noticing how the lady in the store, she looks like she needs an uplifting word. So pile number 3 is giving them the uplifting word. And pile number 3 is always noticing how other people are feeling, what they need, and what they're asking for in between the lines. And pile number 3 always is drained at the end of the day, tired. Now pile number 3 needs to go to bed early because pile number 3 gave everything to everyone else during the day. And pile number 3 doesn't understand why they're not feeling happy. Like, why am I not feeling happy when all these people, when I give to all these people all the time? And why doesn't that make me feel happy? And so pile number 3, the tree of wishes is calling your name. The tree of wishes is now calling your name, and an almost forgotten wish will now come true. Can you remember, pile number 3, way back in the day when you was much younger? Can you remember what the wish was that you sent out there to the universe? Your ancestors, they've been keeping this wish. They've been keeping this wish safe since that day when you expressed it. You weren't ready then to have it come true. But the deep longing in the wish that you put out there back then, it made an impact on everything around it. So the universe was just conspiring to put it into action for you when you was ready for it. And the path, your path, pile number 3, being so kind to everyone, walking around there, doing everything, trying to make everybody's needs filled and fill up everybody else's cup. So it has led you to a path and a point where miracles actually can happen in your life and you just only have to believe in them. Now you believe in them. Miracles can believe if you believe them to be true. They happen and they take place every day, like throughout the world. I love miracles. They happen all the time. And I love it when I see it. It's the synchronicities. It's the being, doing the inner work. It's being at the right point, being right there at the right place at the right time. Being open to seeing these opportunities and to grabbing them. And you've forgotten that you can trust your own path. You can trust your own path. The path of your soul and the insight in complete trust. It's important. Say a prayer. Pile number 3, just say a prayer that you are now ready to receive this miracle or these miracles. Pile number 3, always filling up other people's cups is a very nice thing to do. It's a very nice thing to do. Other people's happiness can be a betrayal of me. But pursuing your own happiness is never a betrayal for you, nor is it the betrayal for other people around you. Sometimes people will say that it's a betrayal to seek your own happiness. It's a betrayal, it's selfish, it's ambitious, it's stupid. It's everything that they need to say to have pile number 3 stay there and continue to fill up their cups. Going into relationships because you want the safety and security of it, there's nothing wrong with that, but it may come at a cost of your own happiness, your own joy and adventure. It depends on how these dynamics in the relationship that you're in, how they work. Sometimes they can work out perfectly. People have arranged marriages all over the place, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's duty and it's filling the cup and fulfilling needs. However, pile number 3, the companionship card, you got drawn to this because you are seeking, and the presence of love will always cast out fear. And that does happen even if you just discover the love within yourself. If you, pile number 3, was going to do one thing to kickstart your own awakening, freaking awesome process, fill your own cups. Pile number 3, you might not ever have thought about, like, what is it that you need? Like, if you were these other people in your life, what would you have to give them? What would you have to give to yourself then to fulfill it? You can see yourself as one of these other people. Then you can learn, what are your needs? What are your desires? What is it that you long for? And pile number 3, what is that wish that you put out there way back when? And you're just like, no, that's a stupid wish. I can't. That's never going to happen, or that's too much, or people telling me that that's just way beyond whatever. No, like, that's just out of the question. It's stupid. Like, that's childish thinking. It's not going to happen. And so what was that wish? Now is the time to take it back and remember it and be like, hey, dear universe, God, source, higher power, what you want to call it, however you pray, however you set your intention, just speak it out. You're ready to receive this miracle. You are ready to receive a miracle. Pile number 3, you are going to start to fill up your own cup. Then it might have to sit down and make a little list, like, what are your needs? What are your wants? And what are your wishes? What are these different things that you would need in your life to accomplish a sense of fulfillment? And maybe sometimes the peace of mind. How do you find the peace of mind? The peace of mind, one miracle, the peace of mind. What is the opposite of thinking too much? Oh, peace of mind. Okay, so maybe not thinking is a good thing. So stop thinking. Stop thinking. If you're able to just stop thinking, and then you find yourself standing there in space, wherever you are, breathe in, maybe moving your hands a little bit or your toes a little bit, and just acknowledging the body. Breathe in, being in the space wherever you are. And if you pay attention, that's where you're going to find the beauty, the love, the creativity, the inner peace. I heal the poisons of my mind that limit and deny me by aligning with pure and honest thought and belief. If you believe that your needs are equally important to everybody else's needs, now you can find balance. I joyfully recognize when I am thinking limiting thoughts from my conditioning. and realign with thoughts and beliefs that serve my growth and well-being. Growing up, perhaps it was a good thing for the people around you to have someone serve them all the time because that filled their needs. So now you're little and they're teaching you how to make sure that they feel okay. And maybe that's what you needed to do, pile number 3, in order for you to feel safe in those surroundings. Make sure that mama and papa are happy. Make sure that they have what they need. Make sure that they've been taken care of so that you can be feeling safe in their surroundings. So they won't be upset with you. Or they won't yell at you. They won't call you names. This is your conditioning. This is what happens when your mind is conditioned. Now that you're older, you can fill your own cup by changing out those beliefs that was installed in you way back when. You have to notice them first, and then you have to just observe the thoughts. Be that presence when you stop thinking. And just sit there for a little bit without any thoughts. And be. Now you can realign with thoughts and beliefs that serve your growth and your well-being. Pile number 3, very powerful. I choose to question my perspective and think loving, supportive thoughts. I am peaceful. And you can be peaceful by yourself. If you are locked into an arrangement that you don't really feel any joy in, it's just duty, it's just routine, and it's just waking up, doing the routines and going to bed. And then waking up, doing the routines and going to bed. Waking up, doing the routines and putting on the smiles, putting on the behaviors, putting on the helping hand that everybody seems to need all the time. And then you go to bed. And inside of all of that is just emptiness. You can fill your own cup. You don't need the other person to feel peaceful. You don't need the other person to feel happy or secure. Once you start to fill your own cup, you're going to find that you are capable of fulfilling your own cup, and you're capable of fulfilling your own needs, and you're capable of being a full, whole, joyous being on your own. And now you can find and attract someone into your life that is going to enhance the joys in your life. It's going to help you enhance the feelings of fun and adventure and safety and money and everything. But also those things within yourself, like the joy, the love, the creativity, the inner peace. Peace of mind. The presence of love will always cast out fear. Getting some news, maybe just receiving a message that kickstart your brain into being like, hey, I can actually change my thinking. Hey, I can actually stop thinking. Really? I can take my energy back. You know how much energy and how much more energy you use when you're thinking all the time? Well, if you just stop thinking for a little bit and just smell the roses or the sunflowers and this, be in the space. Just be in the space. Smell, taste, feel, use your senses. Bring yourself back into the moment, out of thoughts. When you do that, you're going to have more time. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more love. You're going to have more beauty. You're going to have enough for yourself, and you're also going to have enough to share. But you have to stand up for yourself. Pile number 3, this is the companionship is great. Companionship is good. Companionship is fun. Yeah, we need that. But you have to stand up for yourself. You have to fill your own cup. And standing up for what you believe in sometimes can be very upsetting, especially if you've been catering to a companion. You've been catering to them. They're used to having you cater around them all the time because they are dependent on you to fill their cup. Pile number 3, taking your power back. Now you're going to be filling your own cup. You're going to need to know what you need. You're going to need to know what you want. And you're going to be able to stop thinking for a little bit. When you're able to stop thinking for a little bit and stand up for what you believe in, you have the right to find happiness and joy and bliss, inner peace, creativity. You have a right to do that. It's your right as a person. It's a part of who you are. King of Swords, great energy, working yourself way up to speaking your mind, setting the throne, setting the tone in your life. You're going to be using this sword. You're going to be shmoop, cut, shoop, just slice on through it and speak your mind and set your boundaries. You're going to stand up for yourself. You're going to fill your own cup, and you're going to figure out how can you stop thinking for a little bit. Because that's where you find your real, true self and your own nature and your own joy. And that is not a betrayal of anything. That is standing up for yourself. That's standing up for everyone else around you too. And it's going to change the relationships in your life. Once you do this and you fill your own cup, all those people that you used to cater to, that now you feel like they can cater and get their own stuff, all those people, they might be upset with you. They don't like that. They don't like that pile number 3 is now not catering to them. So they might disappear from your life, and that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes people are in your life for a lesson, for a season, and they come and they go. And people come and they go in your life, and that's okay. You, however, pile number 3, you are determined. And you are like, well, you know, this is my life. And now I'm standing here in space. I'm standing here breathing. I'm a living organism. I'm standing here breathing. And I'm ready to set out on this new adventure. And this new adventure, I'm going to let my internal GPS guide me into where I want to go. I'm sick and tired of being wrapped up in my head, in the 9 of Swords, all these voices, whoa, coming in from the before. Oh, you need to do this for me. You need to do that for me. I need you to do this. I need you to show up there. I need you to come there. I need you to add this. I need you this. I need you this. I need you this. I need you this. And you're going to be, well, you know, sorry, fudge that. I'm going to go inward. I'm going to take charge of my internal self. I'm going to take responsibility for my internal self. I'm going to sit in this chariot. I'm going to learn how to manage my internal energies, how to manage my internal emotions, how to drive this life of mine forward. Positive emotion will give you positive results. Negative emotion will give you negative results. Joyous emotions will bring more joy into your life. Depressed emotions will bring more depression into your life. Whatever it is that is on your inside, your emotion is going to be setting the tone for your life. The presence of love will always cast out fear. Love has in it the power to conquer fear. And you can set out on this self-serving. It's not egotistical. By being self-serving, by going internally and cleaning up your internal mess, which we all have it. So it's nothing to be shamed about. It's nothing to feel guilty about. We all have internal messes because that's what it's like to be a human here on planet Earth. And so you're going to figure out how to quiet your mind. You're going to stand up for yourself. Whatever that consequence of that is, you're going to just stand up for yourself and do what is the right for you to do. Fill your own cup. Find your own inner joy and happiness and bliss. Now, once you find it, now you can share it with other people too. And so you're setting out on this new journey and you're learning to drive your life in the direction that you want it to be. You already put out the wish, the miracle. You're waiting for the miracle. You are going to find the miracle, the peace of mind, the joy. You just have to steer the chariot in the right direction and go with it. Go with the flow. Go internally. And now find what is it that you need. Where is your emotion driving you? And go where it leads you to aiming up. Gaining better life. Gaining better understanding. Getting better at understanding yourself will also open up for everything and everyone around you. And the Emperor is here. Emperor can be stern and static, but it doesn't have to be. This can also be the Emperor is strategic. The Emperor holds all the qualities of all the kings. So you have mastered the speaking, the how to manage your time, how to manage your emotions, and your passion is driving you. And all of this is living within the Emperor. You're going to find a strategy. Make a strategy. Find a strategy. So the one area that you could really improve on would be to fill your own cup. Set your own boundaries. Find your own way. Cater to your own needs. You don't have to always cater to everybody else's needs, wishes, wants, whatever whim that comes up in their head. It's not your problem. It's not your business. Focus on you. Focus on standing up for what you believe in. Set out on that new journey. Might have to leave some things behind. That's okay. You are going to be okay. Pile number 3. The beautiful light in me. It honors, respects, and it loves that same beautiful light in you. Until next time, namaste.